Hey everybody, we are on our second travel day on our way to Barbados. This is not how we wanted our vacation to start, but honestly it turned out to be kind of a good thing.
Yeah, not too bad. So yesterday was our first travel day. We were set to fly to Miami. We had like 45 minutes to get off that plane, get onto the plane for Barbados, and we were going to be in Barbados last night, but it didn't happen that way.
No.
There was a flight attendant that was late for the first flight, so that pushed it back an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We missed the flight to Barbados. Unfortunately, there's only one flight to Barbados out of Miami per day. So they put us in a hotel overnight, and we're just going to the airport now to fly to Barbados today.
It has extended our vacation by one day. Luckily, we have our family at home who is holding down the fort with the animals and the kids and the house. So we didn't have to worry about that. But I will totally admit that in the moment, I felt absolutely devastated. The anxiety and the stress while we were waiting at the airport and just watching time tick by, just trying to come up with like any possible scenario that we would be able to make that connection. Like, oh, maybe our Miami flight is going to be delayed and somehow we'll make it, or maybe they'll hold the plane. No, that does not happen. But once it was looking more and more likely like we were going to miss that flight, we reached out to our travel agent, who honestly is the MVP of this whole entire trip. She has been an absolute rock star, going above and beyond. I'm going to put her information in the description of this video because, oh my gosh, she has helped us every step of the way. Definitely put me at ease while I was stressed and like in tears at the airport. Like, no joke. I was like literally crying. People thought I was crazy, I'm sure. But what it resulted in is we got a free night in Miami. So American Airlines put us up in a really, really nice hotel. And I have a friend who lives in Miami, so we were able to spend the evening with her.
So luckily, when you got on the phone with Sandals, and they're super understandable, they're just shifting our stay. So they're pushing it back or whatever. So we've still got the 4 days.
We still have our full vacation time. At Sandals at the resort, which was a huge relief.
One last hiccup that kind of threw a wrench in things. When you fly internationally, at least to Barbados anyways, you need a negative COVID test within 3 days of arriving. So we took one Monday, since we were going to be arriving Thursday, but now that we're there Friday, that 3-day window isn't there. However, they're making an exception for fully vaccinated people. So I think we should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be okay.
Yeah, we should be fine. And also when you arrive, you take another test. So anyway, so we are off to the airport. We're getting there early. We want to make sure that we don't have any hiccups today. Like, we are making that plane. And because Miami is a big airport, we want to make sure we have a lot of time to spare.
For sure.
At the Miami airport, we were able to enjoy some breakfast empanadas, and the day before we actually had lunch and we had Cuban Rubens. When we got off the plane in Barbados, we had to take a ramp, which was pretty cool. It was my first time doing that. And when we arrived to Sandals, we just loved the lounge. Everything is open here, so there actually aren't doors or walls that go from the outside to the inside. So it's very bright. We were taken to the butler lounge to wait to meet our butler because our room actually came with a butler, and basically they help make sure that your stay is everything that you dreamed. They took us to our room, which was a rendezvous, and initially we actually weren't supposed to have this room, which we'll explain a little bit further in this video on why we were put into this room. But basically we got an upgrade and we didn't ask for it, but it was really nice. The room was stocked with liquor and mixers, and this actually would have been in the original room as well. But it had a lot more space, a huge bathtub. And one of the best things about the rendezvous is the back porch area. And this has a place where you can shower before getting into the pool if you have come from the beach. It has a soaking tub outside as well, and just this beautiful private pool. We also spent some time outside reading on those nice chairs.
All right, guys, it is now day 2. We were in Barbados, and we just got our negative test back.
Yay!
So we got those little like wristband things cut off, which means we can leave our room.
Did we even tell them what happened though?
Oh yeah, did we tell you guys?
I don't think. So basically you arrive in Barbados in customs. We show our vaccination card, we show our negative test results that we had gotten done at CVS. So like you drive through, they give you the thing and you know, swab yourself.
And stuff, yeah.
And what we didn't know is that by doing the test in a drive-through where we're doing it and not a professional, Barbados no longer takes that as a result. So we thought that we could still move about the resort last night. And the first thing, we get here, we meet our butler, and he's like, so you have to quarantine in your room tonight. And I was like, what?
Because we had the orange wristbands that customs put on us, so like that was the flag for them of like, okay, you have to wait for your results.
Yeah, I literally cried because it was just
instant tears.
It was just one, and it's not because like obviously in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a big deal.
No.
But in the moment, after a whole day missed and our vacation shifting and another delay, the day of travel, we were exhausted.
Yeah.
It just was
like
a lot.
One more blow.
And then he starts walking us to our room and we were like really excited about our swim up pool. We were like, I'd been talking about this forever. Like I was really excited about it. He takes us to the Rondavalles. I'll show you guys what the Rondaval looks like. And it is
this is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. It's nice.
This is the Rondaval. And even in the moment, because everything was falling apart, I couldn't even be happy that they were upgrading us to this incredible, like 4 levels above our room.
Yeah, just one thing after another.
One thing after another. But
they were awesome, seriously. Like they were going above and beyond to like take care of us. We were just like kind of in shock of like
we were in shock.
How nothing like was going how we thought it was gonna go, but everything's okay now.
Yeah, so and we're happy. Our butler is incredible.
Super nice.
So he just cut off our wristbands. We're waiting on breakfast to get here, and then he's already reserved a lizard.
He reserved a lizard?
He did reserve a lizard.
That's our lizard, guys.
That's our lizard!
Just for us.
He's on our menu. Basically, we're gonna eat some breakfast. We already have our bag packed. I have this incredible resort outfit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling resorty things.
Yeah.
He reserved us a spot at the pool, so I'm about to get my tan on. John's about to get his sunblock on.
Yep. I'll just be chilling in the shade.
Yeah, so we'll show you guys what we're up to and how incredible it is out here. All the food that we're gonna eat.
So excited.
This is where the fun begins.
Yep.
So here's our room service breakfast that we had ordered as we were waiting for the results of our test. No complaints here, it was delicious. We then went to the infinity pool, which overlooks the ocean, and this honestly was just the most beautiful pool. At the other end, you can see that it has this glass side where you can kind of hang out and overlook the ocean. And of course, one of the first things we did was head over to the water and dip our toes in. The beach and the views were absolutely incredible. The video just does not do it justice whatsoever. And then we just spent hours at the pool, and it honestly wasn't even that hot because of the breeze from the ocean. At one point, the party planning committee, which is what I refer to them as, they came up really right where we were and started doing dance lessons, which was really fun. So we just got a front row seat. And then we had lunch, which was jerk shack, which honestly was the most flavorful chicken I have ever had. We are on our way to see our first sunset in Barbados. We also have dinner at
La Parisienne.
La Parisienne, and it is actually on the rooftop of one of the buildings, and there's also a pool there, so it's our first time checking that out as well. Today was just like a really chill day. Like, I got a lot of sun. You guys can probably see that.
Very red.
Yeah, I thought I was applying enough sunscreen. Clearly was not. John did really good.
Yeah, not too bad.
He's got a walking beer. The Banks, which is brewed in Barbados. And as we're walking through, I'll show you guys the main stage of Sandals Royal Barbados. We're actually getting ready for a really big production this evening. And for reference, these are the swim up rooms that we originally had booked. So again, we have a much nicer room now. But you'll see that these swim up rooms, especially on Seaside, they are right on the side of kind of like this main stretch and where the infinity pool is as well. And this is like where everything kind of happens. So definitely recommend if you're booking, trying to look at the actual map and see where you want to go and make sure you're booking a room that is on that side. While we waited for our dinner reservation at 6 at La Parisienne, we grabbed a drink at the Sky Bar and just enjoyed the sunset in Barbados on the top deck. And because our reservation was right when they opened at 6, we got a great view right on the edge outside, so it overlooked the resort. For appetizers, I got ratatouille because I had to, and John got shrimp. I think he got a shrimp appetizer at every single place. And then we split 3 different dishes because you never know what the portion sizes are going to be or if you're going to like it. And French was definitely something we had not tried before. After dinner, we spent some time at Lover's Lane. Not only is there bowling, but there are a lot of games that you can play. They have foosball, and then they have these really cool digital screens that have a number of games. And so honestly, we just kind of sat around and played for a little bit. We were killing time until the show at the main stage. And this one took a little bit of getting used to, but it was really a lot of fun. And then it was time to bowl, and I did a quick little time lapse. It was a lot of fun, of course. This is not something we end up getting to do a whole lot, which we need to do more of this. Then we went to the main stage, and it was an incredible performance with this band. You can see the crowd is kind of pretty reserved at first, but later on it gets a little bit more exciting. And then I believe after this they had a DJ, unless that was the second night. But I'm pretty sure after the band they had a DJ come out as well. And so it was just dancing and singing, and it was a lot of fun. For our second full day, we did a little tour of the property. So here we're actually walking up from the Rendezvous to one of the pools that we actually didn't get a chance to enjoy. It's the South Seas pool. They have a basketball hoop, and they also have a swim-up bar, which is pretty neat. You can also see that there are a couple of restaurants here. So there's Butch's as well as Chi, which is Asian fusion. And then we headed over to the American Tavern, which is where we were going to have breakfast. How'd you like the show?
Very entertaining.
Super entertaining.
Honestly, the crowd was just as entertaining as the show itself. A lot of bad dancing. It was pretty entertaining.
From him. So we are on full day 2 of our Sandals vacation. Waiting for breakfast to open up, and we're gonna stop by the Aqua Center, right? Yep. Aquatic Center or Aqua Center? Something like that. And we are going to make sure we're signed up for snorkeling and the glass bottom boat because we want to make sure we get those activities in before the end of our trip. And we got a really great shot of the buffet at American Tavern because we were the first one in line. So wanted to take advantage and show everybody just the incredible spread. They had absolutely everything except for waffles, but they did have French toast and pancakes. You can see the Halloween decorations because this actually was Halloween, but there's fruit, there's hot food. They even had baked beans, which I think is probably something that other nationalities might prefer for their breakfast. But honestly, it was just an incredible spread. I love a good breakfast buffet. Then we stopped over at Sweet and Salty's because we wanted to try their gourmet donuts. And I wish that we had a chance to get even more because they all looked so delicious. Is this officially your favorite place?
I don't know. I like it a lot, but that breakfast that we just had was pretty great too.
So good.
Lots of good choices.
But yeah, we filled up and then we came to the donut shop because we wanted to make sure we experienced everything. So then we had fun at the infinity pool again. We wanted to get this fun shot. We saw another YouTuber do this and it was just super cute. So wanted to take advantage of having the pool pretty much to ourselves in the morning. After a couple of hours at the pool, we went to Neptune's to get some delicious seafood, and we got a prime table overlooking the ocean. The breeze was incredible. And again, you don't know really what the portions are going to be like, so we actually ordered 3 different dishes. The fish sandwich, delicious. That's what I had. We also got mahi-mahi, and John got a seafood quesadilla, but he didn't love it. And then there was an incredible opportunity to do Squid Games Sandals style. So we started with red light, green light, and you'll see I got a little bit of footage of this. John was the first one to get out. He was getting really aggressive, trying to be the first one across. I was also pretty far in the front, but the second green light, I think I got a little too overzealous and face planted into the sand. But it was such a fun time. Everybody was just enjoying themselves. You could make friends. This was the second game, which was kind of like a capture the flag type of thing with water balloons. And I love this older guy. He was so much fun. He was hilarious. And he had the genius idea to use these as barriers. Another game that they did which was similar to the sugar cookie, is they had a styrofoam and toothpicks, and they had to cut out the shapes. And this was actually really intense to watch. And of course, they also did tug of war, which was another really intense game. It was just really wild. And again, everybody just had so much fun.
A lot has happened since we've last talked to you guys.
We're currently getting ready for dinner, our second full night.
Yeah, we don't have
Second
reservations. I'm hoping that they'll accept us.
No, this is a non-reservation place.
Oh, okay.
So we are here at 6 because we are very old and we eat dinner super early.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, because we missed one of our nights of a planned dinner and we want to make sure we hit certain restaurants, tonight's actually a double dinner. We're gonna let you know if this actually works out. We are gonna be stuffed to the brim, but we really wanted to experience Bombay and kimonos. So we are showing up at 6 o'clock at Bombay, and then we have a 9 o'clock reservation for hibachi at kimonos. And hibachi is kind of like a show too, so like we feel like there's gonna be a lot of time, so it's more like a late night snack of
let's
hibachi.
just call it that.
But today we had a full day at the pool once again. They did an incredible and entertaining Squid Games on the beach.
Awesome.
I had high hopes for us
I was first
to be out.
eliminated.
And we both kind of went out in the same way. We just kind of fell during red light, green light.
It was
we were eliminated.
comedy relief. Everybody laughed at me.
Everybody
so
laughed.
I was just happy that
And we got
I
to
was able
watch
to
everything
entertain.
else. We didn't get all hot and sweaty, so that was good.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. It was a really cool thing. They put a lot of thought and time into it,
Yes,
for sure.
a lot of effort. The entertainment staff, what do they call them?
The entertainment staff.
Is it the
That's what they
entertainment
call them,
team? Yeah. Like they do such a great job of keeping everybody like happy and entertained with, dancing and music and games and stuff like that. Super, super awesome. And today was actually the second time that we've talked to somebody who has talked about this off-resort excursion. You want to talk about this? You're really excited about it.
I'm very excited about it. So it's this like big boat that's similar to a catamaran, and they just take you out on the water, and they've got snorkeling gear. You jump in, they take you to this abandoned ship, and you can kind of swim around a little bit. There's a lot of sea turtles there. They feed you.
There's a
they
shipwreck,
give you
too.
drinks. Yeah.
So like it's $100 US extra per person, but for us it actually makes sense because right now the glass bottom boat is actually out for repair, so we can't do that on resort at Sandals, as well as the snorkeling, which we didn't know ahead of time, is you have to bring your own equipment for snorkeling or you have to buy it. So it was going to be $40. So for an extra $60, we wanted to get both experiences. So that's what we have planned tomorrow, and I think that's going to be like honestly the highlight of the trip.
For
So
sure. I'm looking forward to that.
tonight we will feast, tomorrow we will boat.
Bombay was definitely the restaurant that we were looking forward to the most out of everything that we have heard about Sandals Royal Barbados. And actually, this is on the regular Sandals side, but you can go in between both resorts because they're right next door. And here the portions were a little bit smaller. Afterwards, we played a little bit of pool. Again, this is on the Sandals side, and we also did some ping pong, which I am not great at, but again, it was just a lot of fun. And then we ended up going to the Halloween party. So this was actually earlier on in the party when everything was getting kicked off. The party planning committee, again, is just so incredible. Kudos to them. And all of them, their dance moves, I just couldn't compete. Then we had our last full day, day 3. This is when we were doing our off-resort excursion, which we'll talk in depth a little bit later. But this was a great opportunity to get out on the water. The boat went over to its first stop, which is where we snorkeled with turtles, and we saw quite a few, but I only got one on camera. John and I both really couldn't get the hang of the snorkel, so we were just using the masks, and I was just kind of holding my breath and going under. But it was just incredible to be underwater and seeing these turtles just, float and swim on by. We also stopped over at a sunken ship, which I did not know how beautiful a sunken ship could be. It's just incredible to see all the detail and this habitat for these fish. And I will say it was a bit intimidating to be swimming above this because underneath it's just this big dark spot in the ocean. You don't know what's under you until you put your mask under, or until you go under with your mask and you actually see what's there. But I was like, oh gosh, this is a little intimidating. And of course, the whole time we were treading water, and I consider myself a good swimmer, but I've never had to tread water that much and swim that much. And afterwards, I was definitely winded, especially because I was holding my breath with the mask and not using the snorkel in the proper way. But yeah, the fish were everywhere, and the staff was great. They made sure everybody was having a super great time. This is where we stopped to have lunch, and I actually swam onto the beach. Funny story, that guy in the red hat actually was in Harry Potter Goblet of Fire. He was one of the Death Eaters in the graveyard scene. We chatted with him for quite a bit. And again, this was just such a great time. Here you can see the ocean and really appreciate how beautiful it is. And then that night we had butches, which is like steak and seafood. John with his shrimp again. And I'll explain why our dinner is actually at our rendezvous room instead of at the restaurant. And then our final day, we had La Parisienne for breakfast. It was beautiful to be up on the roof again. I didn't realize these portions were a lot bigger, so I definitely could not eat all of my food, but their French toast was unbelievable. And then the view from the top, just incredible.
Check out that sunburn we got.
Yeah, pretty red. You can see my sunglass lines here.
Our eyes are like super pale. My forehead got it the worst, and also we got our lips burned.
Yeah, lips burned a little bit.
That was all based on our boat excursion yesterday, which was incredible.
It was a lot of fun.
But when did we last talk about what's been happening?
I don't know. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Today's our last day here.
Today's our last day. We've been enjoying and soaking up every minute of it. Yeah, so we went to Bombay for dinner. This is where I think we left.
Yeah.
We were gonna do hibachi kimonos on the Sandals Barbados side a little bit later because we wanted to have that experience. But it was actually Halloween, and we weren't gonna go to the Halloween party, but the party staff here is so incredible. They put so much effort and time into making sure everyone is having a good time, that there's something going on.
We were playing ping pong, and they were walking around recruiting people hey, come to the party. So we're we gotta go.
And they were decked out. Yeah, we had to. So if you're traveling to a Sandals and it's a holiday, they are going to recognize those holidays. It was a huge party. We drank a little too much, I'll have to be honest. The next morning was our boat excursion.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here and I'm mildly hungover, and then we get on a boat. And it was incredible. I feel like I had a ton of fun. We did snorkeling, we swam with turtles.
Saw some sunken ships.
I feel like once we were boating out to where we were gonna stop for lunch, that's when it hit me. And so everybody was looking at me oh God, what's wrong with her? She's gonna
everybody
throw.
was pretty worried about her.
But the staff was hilarious and kind and fun.
Yeah.
Totally recommend doing the Cool Runnings excursion if you're gonna be in Sandals.
It's catamaran cruise or something.
Yeah. Snorkeling, food.
And I can say the food was delicious. She didn't eat any, but it was really good. They made this like jerk chicken that was fantastic.
Yeah, but then, so last night, this was yesterday. So then last night we get all dolled up. Our butlers were able to get us a 7 o'clock reservation at Butch's, which is a steakhouse and seafood. So excited, like filet mignon with lobster tail, prime rib. And then John started to feel the after effects of the boat. So he was sitting at the table. He was trying to close his eyes to kind of, you said it was like vertigo that you were feeling.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like I just felt like I was on a boat. Like the whole room was just like shaking back and forth.
Yeah. So we decided, I sent him home to our room, and the staff there kind of, put it all together, and I was carrying this like stack of food.
That's so bad.
But luckily it wasn't too far from where we're staying, and it wasn't a full experience because by the time we like got set up here, like it was a little bit cold. But I could tell that the food would have been great if it was at the restaurant and hot. So yeah, we have lived and learned in this.
For sure.
I honestly am considering like starting a very small like travel channel because there's so much that I want to share about what we've learned through just our first experience going to an all-inclusive resort. There are so many different things that we wish we would have known and that we would like to share and have other people kind of experience. So if I decide to do that, I'm going to put it in the description. But if you don't see anything, that means I've changed my mind. But now we had La Parisienne for breakfast. I had eggs Benedict.
Really good. French toast.
French toast was delicious. We cheersed with our mimosas. We're all packed up, and now we've been living at the infinity pool.
Yeah.
Because it overlooks the beach. It is fantastic. We haven't gotten a chance to do the rooftop pool, which is what we were going to do yesterday after dinner, but we just decided to rest and kind of regain our composure.
Yeah, I was done.
He was done. It was so pitiful. So now we're set up at the rooftop pool for our last day. So it overlooks the ocean. It's going to be beautiful. We only have a few more hours.
Yeah.
We also have to pick out our epics pictures. There have been some great pictures taken.
Yeah, best photographers here like all the time, and
they're
they'll
so
get little
good.
candid shots of you, and then get your room number, and then it's all sent digitally, and you'll pick your pictures and order them. It's pretty neat.
I would recommend expecting to buy some pictures when you see the ones that they have, and I'll share them here and on the Instagram. But yeah, so we're gonna order those. We're gonna spend a couple hours at the pool, grab some lunch, and head to the airport.
Yeah, time to go home.
Time to go home.
So here's our last view of the resort. And I did a fun little time lapse while we were up in the pool, just leaning over and, taking in the view. And actually on the top deck, there were servers there who would take your drink order. So at some point I actually run back and she serves it to me in the pool, which was pretty cool. This is also where we took a picture that I don't know if you guys will get the reference, but it's from The Office. It's what we used for our thumbnail. It's when Michael and Jan go to Sandals and he takes that funny picture and she doesn't know about it, and then people find out at the office. Had to have a little bit of fun with that. But this was a really great experience. Again, we learned so much, being our first all-inclusive resort, our first Sandals resort, our first time flying and traveling internationally together, and of course it won't be the last.